Hey, good morning, guys. Good to see you again. We're back here from last week. For the last 10 years or so, we've been doing this show. It will share some wisdom and knowledge with you guys today. We have a special guest on the show, Patrick Cuddy and Amy Paramba. She's they both have a program. Welcome to the show. My co-host, Shelly Stevens, Pat, and Amy.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you guys.
It's nice to have you on the show today. We're going to be talking a little bit about, you fans out there watching the show, there's a lot of things going on around this country where a lot of individuals don't know where to go in life. So there's groups out there like the one we have here today. They're going to start the first program October 30th in Las Vegas, but it's called One Team Organization. One Team Organization is a good group because they're going to give a helping start to individuals to start with their careers in life. Teenagers, they want to get involved. They don't know where they're going to be going next. So they have a program. Welcome again.
Thank
Can you tell us a little bit about your shows, Amy?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us. So One Teen is a leadership and emotional intelligence training program for teenagers. And basically we focus on teenagers ages 13 to 18 that are in school. And really what we try to hone in is just their leadership skills, their ownership, their responsibility, and just really learning tools on how to be in life now, because being a teen now is hard, right? There's a lot of stuff that they have to work their way through. I mean, between life and social media and just everything, there's a lot that they get to really work through. And so for us, it's a space for them to come and to feel safe, to be able to really hone in those leadership skills and really just learn about themselves and learn who they want to be moving forward.
Good. Now, Patrick, I want to ask you a question. Now, you were involved with the training program. You started the first program already?
Correct. Yeah, I was actually, so I'm 30 now, about to turn 31, and I was 15 years old when I first had my own opportunity to be a part of the program.
You look like you're 16.
Thank you. I'll take that as long as y'all are willing to give it.
Good genes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what happened?
Yeah, so I was again, I was 15 when I first got introduced to the program. At the this opportunity was 3 days over the weekend, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And at 15, like I was at a space where I just got hit with a lot of life in a short amount of time. Deaths in the family, parents were divorcing. I was at Desert Pines High School, which was a rough time. Then it's a rough time still now, sadly. And then I got hit with a scoliosis diagnosis. So like double curves, super messed up. I was wondering why my back hurt so much. I went to the doctors and they're like, yeah, no kidding. So that kind of, I was a little overwhelmed at the time. Was not dealing with it particularly well. Not having something in the way of resources at hand at that moment, right? So my headspace was more like, especially with that diagnosis, there's nothing I can do about it. There's no cure for this. So what's the point of living was roughly my 15-year-old headspace, right? And just through a very lucky recommendation of a friend, someone asked like, hey, I had this experience at this teenage leadership program that was over the weekend. I, feel much better about myself as a result of it. You should, consider going. At the time, it struck me as a weird invitation because I'm like, okay, I'm considering ending my life. Like, what is leadership skills going to do to bring me out of this spot? Turns out quite a bit. It makes perfect sense. I went to this, I did sign up for the training, and what was interesting about that experience is it makes perfect sense for leadership skills to be at the core of like mental health tools and so forth, right? How is a kid supposed to take charge and use their voice and lead themselves if they have a crippling sense of self-worth, right?
Absolutely.
Did you have something, Joe?
Especially now that, you see these school shootings on TV and you're wondering, did they have nobody in their lives to guide them? Okay, I understand you might have a bad relationship with your parents, but you guys are doing a really good thing. But especially for children who parents aren't really speaking to them in the way that they should, and they definitely need a program like yours. People really need to see this show and spread the word about their organization, plus it's great.
Thank you.
Amy, tell me a little bit, how many members you have in your program now?
So there's quite a few actually. So we have a board, there are about 10 of us, I believe, on our board who are running it as a nonprofit. So it's a nonprofit organization run by people who are very passionate about teenagers, essentially, right? And so our first training, we had 50 teens come in June, and we did a parent day in June. So we had their parents come in and introduce them. And so the next one is in October. It's October 3rd through the 5th here in Las Vegas. And
Tell us the location and time.
so we're going to be doing it at a local Clark County school. So we're going to put all the information on our website for oneteen.org. We are partnered with a couple of CCSD schools to put our training on.
Good. You viewers out there watching, this program is so special because you get individuals out there that are lost, like Amy was just saying. Sometimes you don't know which direction to take, and there's a lot of individuals out there, especially those who come from broken homes, and there's a lot of things that are going on in this world. Sometimes we don't know what these kids are going through mentally. That's why this program is so important, because they are able to get out there and give you a helping hand, train you in a program. That's what you do, right?
Yeah.
You train them
Correct.
for a job, a career job, right?
No, so I can speak into some of how bits of the activity works, right? So they go through a set of discussions and exercises throughout the weekend, right? And so one of those discussions will be about something like fact versus interpretation. Okay, so what is something really versus what am I making up about it? We'll move on to a subject like content versus context. What are the elements present within my environment, and how is that shaping the place I live in? And what part am I playing in bringing those objects to my environment? We also look at, what does it mean to be in ownership of our circumstances? What does it mean to be victimized and at the effect of what's going on in my life versus what does it mean to be in ownership and impossibility as it relates to what's occurring in my life? So these are the types of subject matter that the kids get some hands-on work with.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if Rick ever got the video I sent him. It was a little video about your program. I don't know. Rick, did you ever get that video? I don't know. Got it? Okay, maybe we can show that.
Let's do a little video here, a little clip.
Las Vegas is more than glitz and lights. It's a city full of possibility. And today, we're meeting a group of young people who are learning how to lead themselves so that they can lead the world. Hi, I'm Amy Paremba with American Dream TV, and today, I'm proud to introduce you to One Teen, a local nonprofit changing the lives of teens through emotional intelligence, leadership training, and the power of connection. I'm here today with Karen Gall, licensed therapist and a part of the One Teen training. So Karen, what struggles do you see with teenagers nowadays that this training would support?
Well, the teen years, it's a very critical time of development. A lot of teens are struggling with a lot of mental health issues that often, if they're not addressed, will carry over into adulthood. Some teens, everything ranges from maybe sadness or hopelessness, but a lot of illnesses that we see are things such as anxiety, depression. Sometimes that shows up as maybe irritability, but sometimes it shows up as eating disorders. Even suicide can be very prevalent, suicide ideation or attempts at suicide. Sometimes there's eating disorders, attention deficit disorders. Sometimes teens cope with substance use, and that often is a way to cope. So if that's not addressed, it can lead to longer term problems in adults. But luckily we have ways to address that.
So how does One Teen support mental wellness in a way that complements therapy?
So this isn't therapy, as we've already said. However, it works well in conjunction with therapy, so that a teen that is in therapy, I believe it really catapults the teen forward because it gives them the tools and the techniques to allow them to open up, to talk about their issues. We've had teens disclose things that they've said that they hadn't felt comfortable talking about with their therapist. They feel that they're not alone. They can talk about things that they hadn't felt comfortable talking about before or at a much deeper level. So therapists say that they can make deeper progress. So sometimes it works in collaboration. Sometimes people come and do this after therapy. Sometimes they will do it alongside therapy as well. As a therapist on staff, One Teen supports a teen's mental wellness by having myself on staff. I also will work with the teen and their families either before, during. I'll make sure that the teens are well supported, and after. Sometimes things come up, a teen comes home, the journey, it's still ongoing. I believe the teens should continue their work and their progress. It doesn't just end when they walk out the doors. And I often will make referrals if somebody needs additional resources and connection.
Karen, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate your insight.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here today.
I'm here today with Robert Pleasance, trainer of the One Teen training. So What is your experience of the change that occurs in teens from day one to the end of the weekend?
When the teens first walk in, obviously they have no idea what they're coming to, and so it takes a little while to get people warmed up. What I notice is, in today's world, as teenagers, I've got so much technology, cell phones and video screens and computer monitors, headphones. There's so many things that I can that can take me away from being connected and related to people, that it's awkward at first. It's awkward figuring out, how do I say what I feel and how do I put words on what's occurring for me. And then what's really magical about the training is, very quickly, once all those things are turned off, I start to engage with other people, and once I start to engage, all of a sudden the words come naturally for me, and the feelings around the words come naturally. And so the biggest thing I think I see is that the teens are able to express themselves fully in a very short period of time.
So why do you think this type of education is so important for teens?
Well, I think this type of education, first and foremost, is important for everybody, whether you be 13 years old or 98 years old. But in today's world, there's so much information coming at teens so fast and so furiously, it's very difficult to know which ends up. It's just, life is happening really, really quickly. And so it's a place for people to jump off the treadmill, if you will, of their everyday life and come into an environment where I can actually communicate and be heard about what's occurring for me internally. I'm allowed to express myself and be who I want to be and who I'm committed to be, and know that I've got a tremendous number of people around me that are going to support me in this.
So thank you so much for being with us today. Really appreciate it, and go back and do the training.
Thank you.
My experience has been really good because we learn how to become a leader and the steps we have to take to become a leader.
I learned so much about how I am enough and that I can give to myself instead of always giving to others. And that really showed me that I need to appreciate myself more and who I am as a person.
I have been able to watch my niece and nephew transform from who they came in on day one to who they are now day 4. They're more willing to listen and participate in things and understand that they aren't the only one in situations and that life happens and it's okay not to be okay.
What happens when you give teens the space to be real, the tools to grow, and the freedom to lead? You get something kind of amazing. This is what One Teen is all about: connection, courage, and the kind of confidence that sticks around long after the weekend ends. I'm Amy Paremba, and I'll say this: if this is the next generation, we're in good hands. Thanks so much for joining us on The American Dream.
Well, you heard it there.
Wonderful.
You heard it there. What a great timing for this program. Because now with AI that's out there, so many programs, you can learn so much. I mean, if you start a program like this is what I think you teenagers need out there. You know, now you started your program on October 3rd.
Yes.
Location?
October 3rd through the 5th, we're going to be doing it at CCS Day School. We're deciding between a high school and elementary school in the present moment. We're trying to figure out, because there's a brand new high school that we're trying to work our way into. So we'll have that all posted on our website.
I was going to say,
yep,
you
everything will
have a
be on our website.
and you have a phone number you can call.
Your website?
Our website is oneteen.org. It's just ONETEEN.org. And the phone number is, you can do my cell, it's actually 702-449-4424.
Or
Lots of force.
702-660-TEEN, right?
Yep, that's
All right.
702 One Teen.
Yep.
That's great. You know, we're so glad to have you on the show today because the information you're giving our audience out there is very much needed.
They're
With all
very
the
much
shooting
needed, yes.
that's going on around this country, we need some help to get these kids on the
Absolutely.
right track. So we want to thank you so much for being on the show today, and I hope to see you in the very near future.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
you.
us.
Thank
Really
you so
appreciate it.
much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay tuned. We got part 2 coming over this show, huh?
Yes, we got Bryce Hampton coming on. My grandson's a football player. He was playing with he graduated from Purdue University, and then he started playing with the Vegas Nighthawks here in Las Vegas. Then he went to the Toronto Argonauts in Canada, and now he's back here again to Vegas. They won the national championship last week, so we're going to bring him on the show in a few minutes. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome once again to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment and the sports capital of the world. I say sports because before it was boxing, but now we got so many sports, and I got somebody very special on the show today. Someone that's very close to me, not because I'm a fan of his, but because I'm his grandfather. And I can tell you guys one thing, having my grandson, Bryce Hampton, welcome to the show, buddy.
How you doing? How you doing?
All right. All right. Well, we're happy to have you on the show, Bryce, because there's a lot of people. I'm always out there bragging about my grandson and about what he's doing in life and his career in football. But I remember when you were about 5 years old, you started playing when you first grade football, and you started throwing the football around, and you were on your way.
Yeah.
But then you ended up going to high school. You were Centennial High School in Las Vegas, and then what happened after that?
Junior college, and then finished up at Purdue. Played my last year there at Purdue, and then from there, it was history.
So you played with Purdue, and you guys were the Boilermakers, known as the Boilermakers, and you guys did it real good time. I remember going there myself. One day I went to this game to watch the game, and when I got there, it was so cold. And I told my wife, Sylvia, I said, I don't know if I can make it to this whole game. Being out there 3 hours, it was like 23 degrees. I said, my bones are not cut off by that kind of weather. But then I said, my grandson's out there playing. We guys were warming up. I told her, you know what? My grandson is out there. I got to be out there too. 70,000 fans. It was amazing. You know, when you had the big motor, the train coming down the street. You guys were coming into the stadium. It was a nice welcome. Boilermakers to the stadium. It was just so beautiful. I got chills just watching you guys coming up and you coming off the bus. It was just so much fun. And here you are now. You graduated from Purdue University. And I tell you, in life sometimes, we do things. I know many football players that try to go for the pros and didn't make it. Some say, Joe, it was a blessing in disguise because I didn't continue my football career, but I got something else going for myself. I got one of the best jobs in the world. I said, what? Was it because of the diploma? That diploma goes a long ways in life. And your diploma that you got, Bryce, from Purdue, that anybody sees when you apply for a job, they look at the resume and they see Purdue University. They're going to think twice. There could be 20 people out there, but that guy from Purdue, that's the one they're going to have their eyes on.
Right.
Yeah?
Oh, it's so cool. My husband's a big football fan, and I always told him, when I was in school, I was a cheerleader for our football team. I went to West Catholic Girls High. West Catholic Boys was down the street, and I just wanted to be a cheerleader. I had no idea what was going on. All I knew was go, yay, yay, and I just wanted to wear a cute uniform and pom-poms and stuff. But then after meeting my husband, I became more of a fan, and now he explained to me everything that's going on. He's like, well, you be quiet so I can watch the game. But thanks to you and Joe and my husband, I'm such a big fan now. So when you guys start up again next season, I definitely want to go.
Good.
Want to go.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Wherever he plays at, it may be here, it may be any place around the world.
To.
I mean, football is such a popular sport that everybody says football. Now we're talking that sometimes we play in the Mexican, you say football, for them it's soccer. So we got to clarify that it's American football. I had a football that someone was supposed to bring it here to me, and they didn't bring it. But I had a football to put out here so people know we're talking about American football. With Bryce, you're amazing because you've done something. You play baseball, you did a little bit of karate, and then you wanted to try to go into boxing. And I said, Bryce, I don't think I want you to go to boxing because boxing really, you're in the hurt business.
Yeah, he's too cute to go into boxing. No, we don't want that face touched.
They call him Pretty Boy.
Yeah.
Pretty Boy Bryce. Because Bryce is really so much, he's got so much going for himself these days. Everything is just a matter of timing. Timing is so important. Shelly, when I first met you, I never dreamt in my wildest dream that you'd be a co-host with me. But the timing was right,
It was.
I needed somebody. I was tired of being on that TV show by myself, so many years after years. And people say, Joe, you should bring somebody pretty on your show. I said, I got to find somebody. And when I met Shelly and Wesley, I said, this may be the person that I can use for my show. But Bryce, tell us, what's on the horizon for you with the football career?
We're just coming off the championship with the Nighthawks here in Vegas. Just seeking my opportunities, see what's going on, see where's the right fit for me. If it's back in Vegas, then that's what it is. If it's other places. We'll see. But it was a good season so far with the Nighthawks coming back from Toronto, Canada, and coming back for the playoff run that we had here in Vegas, and it was a good experience. For sure. Coming off the season last year, falling off short, we got it done this year.
You didn't make it last year with the Nighthawks, but you made it this year. You get the Western Conference Championship, and then after the Western Conference was for the Nationals.
It was for the Nationals, yes.
Your last game was a nail biter. I tell you, because we were we had a watch party for you at Lola's where we performed.
Yeah.
And everybody, we were like, it was crazy, but after it was really a game that I would never forget for the rest of my life, because it was like, what, 5 seconds ago, or was it 2 seconds?
About 4 or 5 seconds left.
Know, right?
Last play on the goal line, 1 yard.
Right, at the goal line, like 2 inches, right?
2 inches, about this much they had to get in.
And you're a defense back, so you were out there?
I was out there. We got the final stop, and the only stop.
But I saw you. You punch. You're supposed to do it now. But he was Bryce was right down the line. I saw number 1 with the Vegas Nighthawks. I said, "That's my grandson. I'm so proud of him."
Yeah.
We're just watching you, and
the big party they gave him at the M Resort.
Yeah,
that was so cool.
Yeah, the M Resort out there, they hosted the welcome party, the victory party, and of course Bryce was out there talking. They had to dance to talk a little bit. I interviewed some of the networks. Did some interviews with Bryce. I got a couple of calls. Hey, Joe, we saw you talking about your grandson at the celebration party. I think it was Channel 8 here in Las Vegas. I said, yeah, it's an honor. For me, it's not about me anymore. Now it's about my family, my grandchildren, my children and grandchildren, You guys, so what else is next step?
Next step, I mean, you got to figure it out. It's a lot going on right now. And,
so a lot of the teams out there watching, don't forget Bryce Hampton, Vegas Nighthawks, and he was really amazing, but original Boilermakers from the Purdue University. I mean, we were so proud. I mean, I wish I was in your shoes. If I was your age with that diploma that you got, I'll be letting everybody know. Look at my diploma. Look at my diploma. I got it.
Oh my God.
Either you guys pick me in football, or you give me a good solid job. So, with that diploma, it goes a long ways.
Oh my God! I posted all these pictures on Facebook, when he won and everything, and then they had the T-shirts, and then they had the little football and everything, so I included that in the pictures. I got more hits on that picture than I do with anything else on Facebook. I swear to God, everybody loved my T-shirt and my little football.
That was a great experience, and being at the victory party. Now, how do you see football today compared to what it was back in the old days, before you were born?
Well, before I was born, it was more nitty gritty, hardcore. The coaching was a little bit different. Nowadays, the kids are, I don't know the term, I guess, softer. I guess it's a little bit different. People are raised a little bit different now. But I would say the athletes now are very tremendous. They're very talented and very gifted at this age, and starting at a young age. We didn't have, growing up, different type of trainers and stuff to learn these different techniques and abilities, but now they do. So I think it's evolving, it's changing, and football is growing around the country.
I saw a video of you jumping up, like, I don't know how many feet up, onto a square base. You jumped up. How many feet was that?
It was 43 inches.
43 inches.
43 inches, yeah.
And you jumped up in the air. That's part of your training, right?
Part of the training.
And you built a lot of muscle.
Built a lot of muscle. Shout out to Tyson Poots for the training and everything he did for me. So I appreciate him. But
what's his name?
Tyson Poots.
That was your trainer?
Trainer, yes, sir.
And that was for which team?
So he's actually a trainer here in Vegas. It was Game Changers, but he broke off and about to reconnect back with that facility. But one of the best facilities here in Vegas.
Again, man, you have a sister. We just started attending San Diego State, and you were there last week to visit her.
Yeah.
She spent a couple of days there.
Good time out there with her. Good to spend some time with her before she starts getting into the hard stuff of school.
Yeah.
The championship game was actually when they dropped her off, so I had to go out there and show my support, show that I cared and everything. So it was a good time out there with her.
I know you and our little sister must miss her a lot, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They used to
And
be
your
together all the time.
sister, so Ayana's the one that went to San Diego State, and Maya, your youngest sister, my youngest granddaughter.
Yeah.
How is she doing with her schooling?
She's doing good. She's freshman this year. She's on JV playing volleyball, so that's good. She's just learning and just growing as a person. Good seeing her grow. Been seeing her since she came out the womb, so it's good to see her grow and become into herself.
You're lucky to have a beautiful family like you do. You know, your mother with my youngest daughter, Christine, and then you got Eric, my son-in-law. What a good guy. He's been great. Wherever you guys, I mean, a father like nobody has had before. I didn't have the love of a father growing up. I grew up with a single-parent home. So I'll tell these individuals out there that are being raised by their mother and father, it's a good thing because you think different and your career goes forward. Me, I didn't have that. I really didn't know the love of a father. Maybe that's why these days I love people so much because there's something missing. I love that I should have gotten, I didn't get. But you individuals out there, you know, there's always a way, there's a blessing in disguise, and things happen for a reason in life. And I was very fortunate to have a good mother and who did a great job, Inocencia, may she rest in peace. She lived to be 99, she passed away about 10 years ago. And here I go forward, I got my children, I got the best grandchildren anybody can have in the world. I told my wife, sister, you know what? If I would have known I was going to love my grandchildren so much, I would have had them first. Anyway, if you was out there, I want to say thank you so much for watching the show today with my special guest, my dear grandson, Bryce Hampton.
We have to get Bryce out to Lola's one Saturday.
Saturday night at Lola's. Shelly was to perform every Saturday night from 6 to 10 at the in Summerlin here in Las Vegas. And I perform for you guys on a weekly basis.
He performs at Lola's too.
I go to Lola's every Saturday night.
I won't tell you how.
Now this Saturday night, you asked me a question about the fight, Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. It's going to be a great fight, you know. Yep. I mean, my last fight I refereed in boxing was Canelo Alvarez against Josecito Lopez at the MGM Hotel here in Las Vegas. But a lot of people have been saying, you know, Joe, Terence Crawford is an undefeated fighter. He's a couple of years younger than Canelo, and he can box, he can punch. He has it all. He's undefeated. I said, yeah, who do you like? I said, I don't know. My mentality is like I'm still like an official. I want to be neutral all the time. But one thing I can tell you, Canelo's been fighting at 168 for a couple of number of years. He used to have 147, 154, 160, and 168. Terence Crawford has been at 147, you know, for most of his career. And I don't know how you're going to feel when you got a guy coming in like a big choo-choo train coming in, throwing the bombs. And Canelo can punch pretty hard. Crawford can withstand that punching power. It's going to be a good fight.
For sure.
Look forward to it.
What do you like?
I like Canelo.
You like Canelo?
I like Canelo. I like Canelo.
Okay, anyway, I stay away from that, but I can tell you viewers out there, thank you so much. Shelly, undisputed champion right here. See you guys next week. God bless. Protect yourself at all time. And remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch them up.